Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Sea Turtle Inc. Facebook Live. My name is Will. I'm an education intern here this year at Sea Turtle Inc. Sea Turtle Inc. is a nonprofit organization and a sea turtle hospital located here on South Padre Island in southern Texas. We have a three-pronged mission. We focus on the rehabilitation and rescue of all sea turtle species, the conservation of all sea turtle species, and education of the public as well. So I'm seeing a couple people hop on right now. Welcome, everybody. Again, my name is Will. I work in the education department here, and today we are going to be doing a little live feeding for you guys of one of our residents. So today I will be feeding Gerry his morning meal. So I will go ahead and flip this camera around and we can start getting Gerry his food here. So let's see where Gerry is. Gerry is underneath the catwalk right now. There he is. So that is Gerry. Gerry is one of our full-time residents, and today he will be getting a mixture of veggies and some protein as well. So as always, guys, make sure that when you're watching this live, you let me know where you're tuning in from, as well as typing in any questions that you might have during the live. I'd be happy to answer them. Justice tuning in from Fort Worth. Hello, Justice. Thanks for watching. So this is Gerry, like I said, one of our full-time residents here at Sea Turtle Inc. Gerry is an adult male green sea turtle. So Atlantic green sea turtles get their name from a very veggie-filled diet. So out in the wild, green sea turtles like Gerry will eat lots of things like seagrass, algae, that kind of thing. But they also will not pass up an opportunity to have some protein. So here at Sea Turtle Inc., Gerry gets a nice mixture of veggies as well as some protein. So we have things like mackerel, shrimp, and even some squid in here for Gerry. I'm seeing lots of people hop on right now. That is excellent. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And if Gerry wants to poke his head back out, we can get him some more food this morning. There he comes. All right, so we got another bell pepper there for Gerry. You guys might see some of the fish in Gerry's tank here. Maybe moving over to try to grab some of that food. So Gerry actually shares his tank with a bunch of fish from the area. So Gerry actually has some black drum in here. He's got some red drum and some mullet swimming around as well. And these are all fish that we have here along the South Texas coast out in the wild. I see a question from Justin saying, how much do they eat a day? That's a good question. So Gerry gets about a full sizable container here in the morning and in the afternoon. So he gets two pretty square meals every morning. So there's a big piece of mackerel going in for Gerry. Oh, we had some of those black drum come and snag it from him. But that's all right. Here's a bell pepper, Gerry. So Gerry came to us in 1980, actually. So Gerry, I see a question. How old is Gerry? Gerry is in his 40s. So Gerry is a full-grown Atlantic green sea turtle. He is an adult male. And there are those black drums snagging his shrimp. So Gerry came to us in 1980. He actually washed up after a pretty significant hurricane in the area and was actually picked up by our founder, Miss Isla Fox Lesher. So Isla found him washed up on the beach here in the 80s, and because of that took him home and actually became really fond of Gerry. So Gerry actually traveled with Isla all around the country. He's been on Johnny Carson, he's been on David Letterman, and Isla used him as sort of an education tool to help promote sea turtle conservation back in the 80s when sea turtle conservation was not a very well-known thing. So that's a big piece of squid that Gerry's eating right there. And because of all of this human contact, unfortunately Gerry is a little over-socialized and cannot be released back into the wild because of this. However, it's not the end of the world. Gerry lives with us here at Sea Turtle Inc. and acts as a great ambassador for his species. So you guys can come and see Gerry here in person here at Sea Turtle Inc. And it is a great way for people to learn about sea turtles and sea turtles and sea turtle conservation issues in person, which is really, really cool. So we are moving through Gerry's food here. Like I said, guys, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them, in the chat. I'd be more than happy to answer them. I'm seeing lots of people tuning in. This is really great. So we got one more piece of squid for Gerry there. Big piece. How is Fred doing? We hope to see him this Saturday. Fred is doing well. So Fred is actually located in that tank over there, right where my finger is, that big brown blob. That is actually Fred right there taking his morning nap. Fred is doing very well, and we are looking forward to seeing you this Saturday, Nora. How old do they get, Justin asks. That's a great question. Sea turtles can live about a human lifespan for pretty much every species. We estimate that they live between 60 to 70, maybe even 80 years. Green sea turtles, which is the species Gerry is, are the exception to that rule. So because in the wild they have such a veggie-heavy diet, scientists believe it really slows their metabolism down, and they can live to be over 100 years old, which is pretty incredible. So Gerry's going to swing under the catwalk for us here. There he is. Very cool. So I am on a catwalk located above Gerry's tank. Gerry right now is doing some circles here. There he is. Now, a question I get asked a whole lot when I'm talking about sea turtles is how can you tell the difference between a male and a female sea turtle? If you guys take a look, you can see Gerry has a pretty long tail right there, and that is actually how we tell the difference between a male and a female sea turtle. So male adult sea turtles will grow this long tail once they reach maturity, and females will not grow that tail. So until sea turtles reach full maturity, we actually do not have a great way of telling whether or not they are male or female. We have to wait until they're fully grown and the males grow this long tail. So Gerry is a male sea turtle. I see a question from Michelle. Does he get time out of water? So Gerry does not get much time out of water, if at all. Sea turtles, especially the males, spend their whole lives in the water. So I think we might have had a connection issue there, but I think we are back. Sorry about that. So we were asking about Gerry's time out of the water. Gerry does not spend any time out of the water. Sea turtles live their whole lives in the ocean, swimming around. The females will come out of the water every once in a while to lay their eggs, but that's pretty much it. So the males, after they're hatched out of their eggs and they crawl into the ocean as hatchlings, actually do not ever really come out of the water unless something is wrong with them. So Gerry lives in the water for most of the time. I see a question from Melissa asking when Gerry will be released. So at the beginning of the live, I sort of talked about how Gerry was a little over-socialized. He was one of our founders' favorite turtles, and because he is so used to people, unfortunately, we cannot release him back out into the wild. So we cannot release him back out in the wild because of how socialized he is, but he stays here with us and acts as a great ambassador to his species. All right, so I'm seeing lots of different people tuning in here. This is really, really great. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Gerry's keeping me busy with the camera here, doing his laps in the morning. And as you guys can see, he has a really beautifully patterned shell. He's a very good-looking sea turtle. Green sea turtles actually get their name, not from maybe the color of their skin or their shell, but from what their diet does to the insides of their body. So Gerry, because he's a green sea turtle, eats lots of vegetables here and out in the wild, and that green diet, all of the chlorophyll in the plant cells, which is what makes plants green, actually dye the fat reserves on the inside of a green sea turtle green. So on the inside, green sea turtles are actually really green, which is where they get their nickname from, which is pretty cool. There is Gerry. So, big breath from Gerry there. Sea turtles can hold their breath for a really, really long time. They can hold it for easily over an hour. They actually will even take naps underwater, which is pretty cool. So they have lungs, just like you and I do, and they do have to come up for air every once in a while, but they can stay a long, long time underwater. I'm seeing questions here. Let me get to them. So I see a question about surgery performed here. So yeah, we do have some sea turtles that every once in a while require surgery. We have a vet that will come to us and perform surgery on site, which is pretty cool. But I am not aware of Gerry being used as a blood donor. That is a good question. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Michelle talking about how handsome Gerry is. I absolutely agree. And then I see a question about public releases, maybe in June or something. So unfortunately, I don't have any information on updated public releases because with COVID and all that, we can't organize any public releases. But you can keep your eyes peeled on social media. A lot of times when we are going to release a turtle or something, we will go live, and if you're in the area or you're around, you might be able to catch it that way. I see a question from Jesse asking about laying eggs from sea turtles while they're in captivity. So it is actually illegal to breed sea turtles in captivity here in the United States, so we do not see any sea turtles laying eggs. Every once in a while a female may drop an egg or two, but it is illegal to breed sea turtles, so we don't have them laying eggs here in the wild. Carol, I agree, Gerry is a very handsome sea turtle. Very good looking male. Big breath from Gerry. Hello, Regina. So guys, that is just about gonna wrap it up, I think, from today. If I did not get to your question, I apologize. Sometimes I don't see them all on the Facebook Live as I'm presenting here. So I will go back later today or tomorrow and try to answer as many questions as I can. So I'll go ahead and turn around the camera. So again, my name is Will. I'm part of the education staff here at Sea Turtle Inc. And I will be doing lots of Facebook Lives this year. So as always, please feel free to check out our website, check out our social media. We post all these videos on Facebook, Instagram, that kind of thing. I work here every day. We're open every day except Mondays here at Sea Turtle Inc. So if you're in the area, please feel free to come visit us, come visit Gerry, our other residents, all the staff, that kind of thing. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. We got some cool stuff coming up for you. So stay tuned on social media, and I will see you guys later. Thank you very much.